What's up there, folks? This is Kevin Warden Price of the Black Dot Empowerment Network, bringing you another short edition of Each One Teach One. So I was passing by, one of my regular spots, and I picked up a Los Angeles Wave. And even though it is dated September the 15th, it has a very interesting story. The story basically says LAPD racial profiling stats challenged. Now, as you know, we have a sister up in there. Her name is Miss Cynthia McLean Hill. Miss Cynthia McLean Hill is the newest member of the LAPD Police Commission. And what she says is that, as a member of the Police Commission, I am calling for a deeper look at the Los Angeles Police Department's procedures for filing complaints about biased policing. So this is one of the issues that she has taken on. She's just gone into office. She's taken on this issue. She wants to have this issue addressed, and this is a very important issue. One of the things that is also said is community members aren't convinced that she's talking about her, the police commission, LAPD, that we take bias seriously. Does the LAPD take racial bias seriously? Of course not. Of course not. We know that. And I don't really believe that anyone sitting in this room, I guess she's in a meeting, believes that our data captures the full extent of inappropriate or biased encounters. Okay, so these are some beginning things. We have to fight on every level. We got to fight politically. We have to fight out in those streets. We have to fight on every level. So this is definitely a beginning that is needed. But what is really important to throw out here, and we know this, black people, a lot of black people know this, especially those from my generation. It says that she noted that during the entire time the LAPD has been receiving and reviewing complaints on biased policing, the number of sustained complaints, which means that the number of complaints in which we agree fits the category of racial bias policing, has been at or near zero. Okay, that's what she said. Now, the commission adopted Ms. McLean Hill's motion, which calls for LAPD officials to report back on the issue on November the 1st at a meeting to be held in the community. Now that's going to be interesting. That's a community meeting. I didn't see that at first, but I'm glad I went back on this here. All right, so we have a community meeting coming up where the LAPD, the police commission, is supposed to explain to the community how they plan to address these issues. That's pretty good. Okay, so we're going to be following you, sister. We're going to see what you're going to be doing. We hope that you are going to be effective. We hope that you're not going to be business as usual. It seems that you are basically calling them up to do the thing that they should have been doing already. There's no excuse for the fact that they have not been doing what they haven't, this whole racial bias profile and all of that. We live in a white supremacy controlled, white supremacy dictated, white supremacy educated, white supremacy promoted society. That's something that we got to understand. Okay, because the only way that we are going to bring about changes in this society for black people is that we have to understand that from the very beginning, when these devil conquerors came to the shores of America, white supremacy became the very foundation and the very bedrock on which this country would be built, period. So, how do you cut the snake off the head? So how do you cut the head off the snake? How do you cut the head off the snake without killing the body? Here's what I believe. I believe that God created the black man and woman as superior to all other races on the face of this earth. So as that snake dies, when his head gets chopped off, we're going to survive. We're going to survive. They've been trying to kill us for the longest. They tried to physically kill us. They tried to biological warfare, viral warfare, chemical warfare, tribal warfare, religious warfare, slavery, indentured servancy, warfare. They're trying every possible thing, economic domination, warfare. They're trying every possible thing to destroy the black man and woman, but it's not possible. It's not possible. Now, the larger the LGBT community becomes, the greater the threat of our weakening becomes. You see, because you can't be loyal to the LGBT community and be loyal to the broader melanated community. It's just something you can't do. How do you balance that? I don't know. You can run around and talk about black power, but then you got a black man beating your ass up. You got a black man fucking you in the ass. I'm just gonna be frank. You got a black man fucking you in the ass, but yet and still you want to lead other black men to the promised land. But that's not, we're not interested in that promised land. You see, that's deviance. That's something that came out of the Caucasus Mountains. You see, that's something that came out of the Caucasus Mountains. You know, they saw animals fucking each other in the ass, and so they mimicked that, and it became good to them. You see what I'm saying? They mimicked that, and that became a part of their culture. Sodomy, anal sex, men, women, children. Check out Greece. Laid the foundation for this psychotic schism that this white devil is faced with today, that we're all faced with today. He's created the atom bomb. But that's okay, because one day Africa is going to have the atom bomb. That's okay. And the thing that we have to understand, people, is that there's no winning an atomic war. And another thing, for those of you that have scared of going to Africa, you might want to repatriate to Africa, because they're not going to blow Africa up. Because Africa is the only continent on the face of this earth that can sustain by itself the human population on this planet, especially if it's been reduced by nuclear fallout. But as we know, one bomb is going to contaminate the atmosphere. 5 bombs is really going to crank it up. And if they launch 1,000 bombs, it don't matter where the hell you at. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you what I love. I love the fact that we still alive in the game. And we can change history. We can change history. Peace.